Good morning, friends. Welcome to Go Long, a show that focuses on local sports and faith. It includes thought-provoking interviews with area coaches, players, and sports figures, unashamed Bible discussion, and the popular and entertaining the WOYK Scoreboard Show. I'm Wayne McCullough. With me is Becky B.
Good morning.
Doggy Becky B. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us because we've got a dandy with us this morning. How about those Windsor Cardinals? My goodness, they're off to a 10-win, only one-loss start, leading the Susquehanna League. Man, yesterday they flat out Aunt Nellied East Prospect 13-0. We have their manager Nate Neff on the phone with us. He's going to kick it off for us this morning. Goodness, I can't wait to talk about these Windsor Cardinals. What a great start. Hey, we also have Ian Korn. How about Ian Korn, York Suburban graduate, played his baseball season at Seton Hill University for the Griffins. Do you know he was an All-American Division II first-team pitcher this year, 11-2, 1.81 ERA, first-team All-American, and also to boot, he was a PSAC top 10, which means he excelled not only on the field, but also in the classroom. Ian Korn will be with us in just a little bit. Also, Becky B., we're going to talk about tennis for kids as well.
We certainly are. We're going to have Tim Law, who is the coordinator for Tennis for Kids in the York and Adams area. What a tremendous program.
All righty. Well, with us right now is Nate Neff, manager of the Windsor Cardinals. Nate, you're off to a great start, 10-1. Tell us about this year's edition of the Cardinals.
Well, it's been a group that we've had together for, quite a few years. Most of these kids signed, in high school, and then, a lot of them went off to college and played, and now they're all back out of college. They got jobs. They're in the real world now, and so we've been together for a while. The Doherty boys, the Stabley brothers, of course, Sean Wilson has been with us for a long time. And the nucleus of the team's been around for a while. Connor DeWeese is another, Nate Hodgkinson. So, we're put together, the last couple of years, and this year we're doing quite well. And we added a few players, here and there every year, and just all coming, gelling right now. Hope it continues for another 25, 30 games, and we'll see how we end up.
Now, Nate, I put together some statistics. Now, these stats do not include yesterday's 13-0 drubbing of East Prospect, but in your first 10 games, you averaged 6.2 runs per game, but you only allowed 2.6 runs per game, a 3.6 differential. Now, let me put that in perspective a little bit. The Yankees, who have the best run versus runs allowed differential in all of Major League Baseball, have a differential of 108 runs. They score in 5.1, giving up 3.7. That's 1.4. You have a 3.6 run differential. Your pitchers are just incredible so far.
Well, yes, they are. One of them pitched yesterday, Zach Geddes. He's a West York boy. He's another kid who we signed out of high school, and then he pitched at Penn State Harrisburg. I believe he is the all-time leading winner there. We also have Sean Wilson, veteran Sean Wilson, who's thrown as well as I've ever seen him at age 45, still getting people out. We've added Connor Bartow. He's a Dallastown grad, plays a tremendous third base for us, and he pitches at Shippensburg University. And he's starting to come around now. And A.J. Lipscomb, another guy. He's a senior from Redline, E-Town College. He's been pitching for us. Going to start bringing him around. And we've these guys have been with us for a while, and really pitching some good baseball for us.
Now, Nate, I know you've been around a long time as I have been, and how many years? I mean, how many years did you play? How many years now as a manager? I mean, it's just what an incredible run you have.
Well, my first year, I signed my first contract at Windsor in 1970.
Wow!
I think I was age 13. I used to follow. We used to go to all the games. My brother Sam, you probably remember Sam now.
Yes, absolutely.
He played, so we would go to all of the games. And there was a game down at Parkton, Maryland, and there was a fire in Windsor that day. And we went down there to the game, and Windsor only had 8 players. So the manager at the time, Jerry Eberly, said, "Hey, Nate, I got a uniform up in the car. Go up and put it on, and we'll tell them you're Bobby Fry." So I went up, put the uniform on, and came running down the hill of Park and said, "Nah, we're not going to do that." So Windsor had to forfeit the game. So there was a league meeting that Monday night. Windsor said, "Well, there's a fire in Windsor that day, and all of our guys had to go to the fire, so we want to play that game over." So I signed the contract and started playing. I think I was 2 for 5 the first game.
Wow.
I was 1 for 3 the second game, and then I was probably 0 for 30 the rest of the year.
Well, you're 13 years old, Nate.
Yeah, but I signed that year. I played up until the year 2000. Played 30 years.
Wow.
And then at age 43, I retired from playing and been managing ever since the last 26 years at Windsor.
Well,
Now,
So
Nate,
pretty very rewarding run.
absolutely.
people don't realize the commitment that it takes, though, not just time but energy when you are leading a men's league team. You know, tell us a little bit about the behind the scenes. Everyone sees you out there during the games, but what else do you do behind the scenes?
Well, the games are actually the easy part.
Right.
I write down a lineup, go out to home plate. These guys, they're all veteran players, been around for a while. Go back in the dugout, sit, and hope I didn't screw too much up and keep my mouth shut.
Hold on, that's not the Nate Neff I knew. Hold on.
Yeah. But, that's what age 68 does.
Yes.
But getting the field ready, luckily I have a great assistant, Brett Stabley, who helps me out with the field. But getting the field ready, like yesterday after the game, it was hot. After the game, I had to go back to the field to drop the equipment off and drag the field because it was wet, and if you leave it dry out, it gets hard as rocks. So
Right.
I thought, well, I gotta get it drugged before it turns hard. But just getting the field ready, making sure the fundraising stuff like that. It takes a lot of time, but I got a very understanding wife and family, and they just love every minute of it.
Good.
Like I do.
Absolutely.
And, you gotta like it, or it'll drive you nuts.
Yep, absolutely. You know, I back in the 80s, I played third base down at Windsor for Glen Rock, and I played on some pretty hard infields down there. I can tell you that.
Well, we used to drag it with probably 100-pound steel rings, which flatten it out now. Now we use nail drags and everything else, which tend to soften it up.
Yeah, well, Windsor I always thought had one of the neatest, fields to play on. The ground rules are unique. I mean, you had trees out in left field that were unique and some kind of drainage thing going on out in right center field. I don't know what that was, but are there still any unique ground rules down there?
Oh, my, yes. You hit the roof of the house in center field, it's a home run. If you hit it off the house in center field, it's like a wall. It comes back and play. It's
right.
You're playing. If it goes through the window, it's going to be a double.
And how many doubles have you had?
Rolls in the groundhog hole out in right center is the stand-up double, right?
Yeah, but I just hope it don't go through a window out there.
Right.
So, yeah, it's pretty unique. If you got trees there in left center, if you ball goes out there and hits one of the trees and it comes down the road, it's a home run. If it comes down and in play, you play it. So,
Yep, I love it.
Yeah.
Now, Nate, what's your favorite thing at the concession stand at Windsor?
Well, I was going to tell Wayne that. He's always been a big concession guy.
Yes.
You can
Still
still come down to Windsor and you get a slice of pizza, a hot dog, and a soda for $5.
Wow.
Oh, that's a
All right.
bargain. Now you're going to have him taking me on a cheap date down to
right.
Windsor soon.
I'm all about that, yes. All righty.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, listen, Nate Neff, manager of the Windsor Cardinals. You're an icon in York area sports, Nate. I'm, a great man, a great manager, a great baseball player, and also a great manager. And look forward to following the Cardinals. And I'm going to take Becky on a date down there and get a hot dog and a slice of pizza for $5. That's a pretty good deal.
You can eat my hot dog.
All right. All right. Well, listen, good luck moving forward, and thanks for being with us. Appreciate it, Nate.
Hey, Wayne. Appreciate it anytime.
All right, buddy. Take care. Yep. Bye-bye. Isn't that great?
That is amazing. Yeah, 55 years in the game.
That is incredible.
It is.
Alrighty, everybody. Hey, we do have a dandy today. Still coming up. We got the WOYK scoreboard just in a couple seconds. Ian Korn, Seton Hall, Division II All-American Pitcher of the Year, and also we're going to talk tennis for kids sports. Also with Tim Law. Goodness, we have a lot to do. Thank you so much for being with us. But friends, as Paul addressed believers in Rome and explained his mission in the book of Romans, for I am not ashamed of the gospel, because it is the power of God that brings salvation to everyone who believes. Today, our go-long topic is, are you prepared? Throughout the weekend during today's show, please text your prayer request to 717-350-8591. You know it's red hot, Ed Hot. It's downtown Ollie Brown. Grab the mustard, because this is the Grand Salami, a sports-based, faith-based sports radio shows. I'll get that out right. Brought to you by Sports Radio 98.9 FM, 1350 WOYK. First in York and first in sports. And also brought to you by our friend Kelsey Jean at Red Barn Home Decors, where home staging makes dollars and cents. You know, all you have to go to the Red Barn Home Decor website and you'll see some of her great work, and you'll see the value added by having your home staged. Whether you're just trying to sell it now or list it with a realtor, there is a big bargain for you by working with Red Barn Home Decors. All right, then, you wanted it, you asked for it, you're going to get it. This is the WOYK scoreboard. All right, let's kick it off with York Adams Legion baseball from this week.
In the Go Long American Legion Game of the Week, league-leading Shiloh wins by 1 run over Hanover by a score of 3-2, as All-State hurler MJ Botero allowed 2 runs, only 1 earned in 6 2/3 stanzas. This game was played at Sunset Lane Park in York.
Just in case you're keeping score at home, this is Botero's 3rd start of the American Legion season, and not only has he twirled 2 shutouts, he hasn't allowed a hit either in those 2 games.
Woo! The Snacktown boys got on the board first with a little small ball as Colton Miller singled and was moved to second on a sacrifice bunt, advancing to third on a wild pitch, and then crossed the plate on an RBI fielder's choice ground ball off the bat of Lucas Bacher.
Wow, that's small ball at its best. Just one hit run. I love it. Hey, then it was Shiloh's turn. With the bases jacked and nobody out, Logan Claycon ripped a 2-ribby base knock that was followed by a Hunt and Chronister squeeze bunt, a little small ball themselves, that gave Shiloh boys a 3-1 lead.
In the 6th, Hanover fought back, hanging another run on the board with a pair of walks and a booted ball. Owen Giolini relieved Botero to notch the final out of the game and book the save.
For the Snacktown boys, Jack Riekert tossed 5 innings, allowing just 3 runs on 4 hits.
The Papertown boys of Spring Grove were 1 run better than the Circletown boys of New Oxford, as Spring Grove wins 2-1 over the Ox.
With New Oxford up 1-0 in the bottom of the 5th, Spring Grove's Brandon Bechtel stepped up to the dish and ripped a 2 RBI base knock, plating Devin Kiefer and Ethan Sherman for the go-ahead and winning runs.
This was a group pitching effort for Spring Grove. Luke Husser going 3 1/3, Chris Harner tossing 1 2/3, and Brady Myers 1 full stanza, and then Jacob DeSoto tossing 1 full inning in the win.
Spring Grove's Luke Husser finished his day at the office going 2 for 3 for the for the Papertown boys, and Jackson Brown, somebody's baby, tossed 4 shutout innings, whiffing 6 and allowing just 3 hits. Becky B, you get that? Jackson,
yes,
okay.
Jackson Brown. I
All
know,
right.
but not too many people
Somebody's
probably
baby.
remember Jackson.
All right.
Okay.
Can you give me a tune? A little
No,
tune
I
of that?
can't
All right.
this morning. So here's a quick look at the York Adams American Legion standings. Shiloh is still undefeated at 5-0. Hanover is 3-1, as is Spring Grove. Dallastown is sitting at 4-2. New Oxford's 3-2. Southwestern has a 1-2 record, and the reigning champion Northeastern is 1-3. Dover is at 1-4, and Pleasureville still looking for their first win, 0-6.
All right, so Shiloh, boy, they're dominant early. We talked about earlier, they beat the Spring Grove here, or Hanover 3-2 earlier, but they also beat Northeastern 3-0, beat Dover 7-0, beat Dallastown 5-1, beat Pleasureville 6-0. So in their 5 wins, they've given up 1 run.
Well, 3.
Three. Yeah. Well, anyway,
yeah.
Still that's pretty good.
That's pretty darn good. You know, the Orioles could use some of that, don't you think?
Valtero's been the guy, right?
Absolutely. Okay, and some games coming up this week. On Monday evening, we have Dover versus Hanover. Pleasureville's going to Shiloh. Southwestern is at New Oxford, and Northeastern is at Spring Grove. On Tuesday, Dallastown faces Northeastern. Southwestern's up against Shiloh, and then on Wednesday, Southwestern's meeting up with Dover, and New Oxford's meeting up with Shiloh, and Northeastern is facing Dallastown.
All right, hey, while we're talking baseball, and we're talking high school age baseball, how about this? York Adams League, 6 players. Count them. 6 players on the all-state teams this year. Go ahead, Becky.
Just
tell us
kind of
about
shows you a little bit about the strength of the York Adams League,
6.
doesn't it? Okay, we have first Red Lion senior Connor Lawrence, who is a 6A infield pick.
Yeah, well, guess what? Connor Lawrence hit .475, had a .640 on-base percentage, and a .902 slugging percentage this year. 4 homers, 17 ribbies, scored 27 runs. You know, he was a leadoff man for those Red Line Lines, but just to boot, he was 6-1 with a 1.27 ERA.
Does a little bit of everything, doesn't he, there?
He does, yes.
Okay, and then MJ Votero from West York was a 5A first-teamer at the utility spot.
Yeah, you know what? Utility spot, well, here's what Valtero does pitching. He's 56 innings, gave up only 7 earned runs for 0.88 ERA. I can't imagine many pitchers with a lower ERA than that. He whipped 113, only walked 36, only gave up 21 hits in 56 innings. Well, you ask, why utility player? Well, here's why. He batted .362, 3 dingers, 9 doubles, 23 ribbies, and scored 18 runs. How about Valtero? That dude can flat out play.
Not bad. Okay, and then we have Northeastern senior Connor Rippo. He made the 6A second team in the outfield.
Yeah, well, this dude can flat out hit as well. He's going to go to the New Jersey Institute of Technology to play his college baseball career, but he hit .371, had 11 extra base hits, 2 long balls, 19 ribbies, scored 16 runs, and he's one of these all-purpose guys. He also, on the mound, had a 2.33 ERA, whipping 45, the Northeastern.
All right, and Ryan Perzanowski, Kennerdale senior, on the 4A second team as a pitcher.
Yeah, well, Perzanowski's just, one of these guys that excels in everything. A great basketball player for the Kennerdale Rams. He was 5-1 this year for the Rams with a 1.72 ERA. He fanned 72 batters in just 44 2/3 innings. He's whiffing almost 2 people every inning. He also, by the way, he hit .393 at the plate, 4 long balls, 25 ribbies, scored 19 runs, did Perzanowski.
All right, the only underclassman in the group from Biglerville, junior Aiden Hoffman, 3A second team choice in the outfield.
Yeah, well, the boy from the Apple capital of the world, Hoffman, he hit .420. How about that for a junior? He also had a slugging percentage of .725, 16 extra base hits from the boys from the Apple capital of the world. How about that?
All right, and a 1A second team selection at pitcher, senior Jaden Bell from Fairfield.
Yep, well, hey, Good job for Bell. He had an ERA of 2.43, 61 strikeouts, and just 40 innings pitched. So well done for the Green Knight. Count them, 6 players from the York Adams League All-State this year. That's tremendous.
And congratulations to those young men. Very deserving.
Yep, absolutely. All right. Hey, we already had a chance to talk to Nate Neff about the Susquehanna League. I mentioned this, the Windsor Cardinals, in just 10 games. Now they have 11 games under their belt, but they shellacked second-place East Prospect yesterday, 13-0. They're averaging over 6 runs a game, giving up less than 3 runs per game. What a great run differential. I mentioned that the Yankees this year, 108. They lead that differential by by more than 2 runs. How about that? The Orioles, just in case you're wondering, minus 83 is their run differential.
Oh, no.
The Phillies, plus 35. The Pirates, minus 66 run differential. You give those stats because they do mean something, right? I mean, they kind of match up well with those one-loss records. And
True.
One of the games, when you talk about run differentials in a game, I had to mention this because I was at this game when the Orioles played the Texas Rangers in 2007. Actually, a group from our church went down, and I was sitting next to Pastor Ed here from Zion Lutheran Church when the Texas Rangers beat the Baltimore Orioles 30-3.
Ooh,
30-3. That's
Aunt
a
Nellie
modern
was there
day.
too. I bet she went on that bus.
Aunt Nellie was sitting right behind us. That's the largest run differential, 27 runs in modern day baseball since 1900. Texas Rangers 2007 beating the Orioles 30-3. Alrighty, so the Windsor Cardinals now 10-1. East Prospect now 7-3. So the Cardinals are 2 games up on second place. Pistons, followed by Pelham with a 4-5 record. York Township 4-5. The Felton, the Pelham Express was 5-3. York Township's 4-5. Felton Mad Dogs 4-6. The Coonrads from Conrads are 3-7. The Stewartstown Vets 1-8, and Jacobus Jackals 1-9.
Alrighty, and now let's talk about the Central League games.
Susquehanna League games this week. I think you have there, Becky B.
Oh, I do have Susquehanna League. I certainly do. I apologize. Okay. All right. Jefferson and Stoverstown were postponed, of course, because of rain. Okay. Stoverstown beats Stewartstown 11-2. Windsor beats Stoverstown 10-5. Manchester and Stoverstown ended up with a tie, 1-1. Stoverstown beat Conrads 12-3. Okay, and Mechanicsburg against Stoverstown was 2-1.
All right, all those are Central League games played earlier this season. All right, the Stoverstown, they are leading the Central League with a record of 7-2-1, averaging 6.3 runs a game. They're only giving up 2.2 runs per game. Becky B, I know you have a lot to talk about in terms of York County Junior Golf Association. Can you give us a quick wrap up there?
Absolutely. Okay, the York County Junior Golf Association, they're in their second week. The Schmuck Lumber Tournament was held at Quail Valley on Monday. In the 9-hole Orange Division, Jackson Price topped Landbridge by 1 stroke with a 36. Mark Ensler's 43 was good for a third-place finish. In the 14 and under Green Division, Garrett Mayer's 79 was 10 strokes better than second-place finisher Hudson Beloga. Tied for third with a 91 were Nathan Heller and Matthew Scherer. In the women's red division, Abby Smith shot an 88 to clinch the lead there. Ella Barton was second with a 93, and Charlie Busdorf posted a 95 for third place. The winner from the white tees came down to the 18th hole when Garrett Hewer birdied to shoot a 77 to best Colton Kaufman by 1 stroke. Cole Miller was 1 stroke back with a 79. And then following through with the blue division, former Southwestern standout Ryan Hilliard shot a 1 under 71 to take first place with 2 birdies and 1 bogey. Jack Ensler was second with a 74, and last week's winner, Lawson Leeper, shot a 75 for third place. This week's tournament is going to be the Ream Printing Tournament, and it will be held at Valley Green Golf Club on Thursday.
Wow. Hey, we still have a lot to do on today's scoreboard show. It'll be coming up later on. I do want to congratulate the Kennerdale softball team. What a season they had. They took second place in the PIAA Class 4A Championship. Finally, what a great season. Congratulations to Kennerdale, right? Second place is tremendous.
Second place is nothing to be snorting about. something to celebrate.
Becky B, I know you have stuff to talk about later on in the show as well. There was a New Balance track meet, right?
It's actually still going on.
Oh,
In
okay.
fact, as we speak, Braden Billman from New Oxford is competing in the long jump.
Wow. Okay.
But we'll give you yesterday's results as well.
Yep, we'll tell you all about that in just a little bit because some athletes from the York Adams League participating in that. We also have York Revolution to talk about and more. But guess what? It's time to go long. Today our topic is, are you prepared? And here's why I have this topic today, because I'm not normally one of these people to say the end is coming and all that kind of stuff, right? Because quite honestly, we don't know, and I'll give you some Bible verses where Jesus even tells us nobody knows when the end time is. But yesterday I was a little bit under the weather, so I'm laying down and I'm looking through my social media stuff, and I'm seeing a lot of people post about some of the events that are going on in the world today. The Russia and Ukraine war, and now Israel and Iran, the United States jumping in. That this lines up with Bible verses about the end of times, and I'm not one to debate that. It may be, it may not be, right? But it made me think. The important thing is not when that is, right? The important thing is, are you prepared? Am I prepared? Are you prepared for that end of times? And what do we need to do? What should we do to be prepared? So I'm looking through Bible verses, and the Bible is, I think, very clear about what we need to do to be prepared. So let me just read a couple verses, and then we'll chat a few minutes about it. This, by the way, is from the New International Version of the Bible, from Matthew chapter 24, verse 36. But about the day or hour no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father, right? So it tells us, not even the angels, not even the Son know exactly when that end of time, when that day and when that hour is. Only our Father knows, from the book of Mark chapter 13, verse 32. But about the day or hour no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. So again, repeats that we just don't know. From Acts chapter 1, verse 7, he said to them, "It is not for you to know the times or dates the Father has set by his own authority." So it's not even for us to know. So again, that took my focus and say, well, why do we even worry about that, right? I shouldn't say worry about it, but you know what I mean. Why? That's not our focus. The focus is on, are we prepared? From 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 10 through 12. But the day of the Lord will come like a thief. The heavens will disappear with a roar. The elements will be destroyed by fire, and the earth and everything done in it will be laid bare. And then here's what I think is so important. Since everything will be destroyed in this way, what kind of people ought you to be? You ought to live holy and godly lives as you look forward to the day of God and speed its coming. That day will bring about the destruction of the heavens by fire, and the elements will melt in the heat. But listen to that verse 11. What kind of people ought you be? You ought to live holy and godly lives. So again, my question, are you prepared? Are you living a holy, or am I living a holy and godly life? From the book of Galatians chapter 6, verse 10. Therefore, as we have opportunity, let us do good to all people, especially to those who belong to the family of believers. Are you prepared? Therefore, do we, when we have the opportunity, and Becky B, do we have the opportunity probably every minute of every day, right?
Absolutely.
Let us do good to all people. Are we prepared? So I guess today, as again yesterday reading, these signs are these signs are now signs of the end of times. That's okay. I'm okay with that. But again, our focus is, are we prepared? And then the question is, what do we need to be prepared? And the verses I read to you tell us about being holy and godly people, have the opportunity to do good amongst other people. That could be your thoughts.
Well, I think Peter kind of gives us a straightforward answer to this question, too. There's a lot of people who are, at the end of times, making kind of like a fort, making sure they have food, making sure they have ammunition, kind of a militia type mentality. But, we need to be continuing to minister to those around us, to help anyone that we can, and as Christians we're called to do good to others.
Absolutely, and I think that's our focus today, is be prepared by being godly people, by being holy people, by doing good to others. That is the answer, in my opinion, today. Are we prepared? So ask yourself that, my friends, and then maybe jot down a couple goals of how we can all improve, how I can improve, how personally can I improve being better and more helpful to others around me throughout my life. Alrighty, my friends, thank you so much for being with us here on Go Long as we celebrate the accomplishments of all our local athletes and sports figures. We appreciate our time together with you every Sunday morning. It means so much to us. Hey, we're going to take a break. Becky B, we have an All-American coming up next. An All-American
awesome.
from York Suburban. Wow, it'll be great to talk to Ian Korn. We'll be right back after this message from our sponsors, Red Barn Home Decors, where home staging makes dollars and cents.
Daryl Henry here. Attention all home sellers. Are you ready to win in the real estate game? At Red Barn Home Decors, we know that staging your home is like crafting the perfect game plan. It leads to quicker sales and higher offers.
And this is Kelsey McCullough, your home staging design professional. I'm ready to customize a winning strategy for your home. Whether it's a vacant property needing a full transformation or an occupied stage for that finishing touch, Red Barn Home Decors has the playbook for success. Staged homes sell faster and for more money. Now that's a winning strategy.
So Kelsey, what is your home staging strategy?
Every home is custom. We begin by coming to your home and meeting you. Then we customize a strategy to make it market ready. We head back to the warehouse and pull furniture, art, and decor to prepare for staging day.
So don't fumble your sale. Invest in home staging and see why staging makes dollars and cents. Check out our portfolio at redbarnhomedecors.com or call or text Kelsey at 717-818-1207.
Love baseball? Love perks? Then it's time to hit a home run with the York Revolution Silver Sluggers presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine. For fans 55 and better, this exclusive membership gives you big savings on Tuesday home games all season long. 10 Tuesday home game tickets, discounts on concessions, and exclusive Silver Sluggers seat cushions, all for just $67.50. Don't miss out. Secure your Silver Sluggers membership today, and we'll see you at the ballpark. Sign up for the season at YorkRevolution.com.
The Atlantic League champion York Revolution are gearing up for another run at the title, and we want you to be part of the action. Lock up your seats with our popular and flexible 10-game plan. It comes with all kinds of season membership perks. Huge savings compared to single-game price, early admission, discount parking, exchange flexibility, and oh yeah, the best baseball around. Get your 10-game plan today at 717-801-HITS or visit YorkRevolution.com.
And welcome back to Go Long. I'm Wayne McCullough. With me is Becky B. Hey, right now, we have an All-American Division II Pitcher of the Year. York Suburban graduate, just finished his season at Seton Hill University, pitching for the Griffins. Ian Korn. Ian, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
What a season, Ian. All-American, Division II Pitcher of the Year. You also get recognized as being a top scholar athlete as well. Tell us about your season.
Yeah, man, it was fun for sure. I wasn't expecting all these accolades at the beginning of the season. It's always the goal, but now that we're here, it was awesome looking back on it. I enjoyed it. I know we just got short of a World Series appearance, so that part sucked. But at least personally, I enjoyed it and had a great season.
Now, Ian, something that always impresses me is when we hear that not only are you a great athlete, but you're a great student as well. What is your major, and tell us what your future goals are outside of playing baseball?
Yeah, so I majored in sports management, and I also had a minor in human resource management.
and I just graduated this past May, and I'll be going to West Virginia University to get my master's in sports management as well. So the goal is past college. If baseball isn't a thing, I'm looking to do anything sports related, specifically with baseball. I kind of haven't figured it out completely, but my goal is to stay around the sports world and help out and give back.
Okay, and why a Mountaineer? Why'd you choose West Virginia?
Yeah, so I have a ton of different connections with them between travel ball coaches in high school. I know their catcher, and then our coaches at Seton Hill kind of know their program. So everyone that I was talking to was like, man, Mountaineers are awesome. Their program is really good, so you need to check it out. And once they reached out, I got in contact with them and talked to them a whole bunch, got on a visit, and once I was there, seeing all the facilities and meeting all the people there, they have something special going on, so I knew that was the place I wanted to be for my last year.
Well, Ian, you could see this building at York Suburban. Your senior year, you had an ERA of 1.08, but in Division II college baseball this year, an ERA of 1.81 is incredible. What's your approach on the mound? What's your strikeout pitch? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so my approach on the mound every time I go out there is I'm just trying to get us a win. If I complicate things too much, I'm not going to see that much success on the mound. So I'm really just going out there, keeping things simple. Attacking each hitter, each pitch. I'm trying to win it from strike one, and then from there, I just trust my defense and let them do all the work. But when it comes down to strikeout pitch, I have 5 different pitches, so I can kind of use whatever I want. It just kind of depends on the situation. But I think my favorite one this year was my slider. But I've been told the changeup is a really good strikeout pitch. We didn't have to use it a ton, but like I said, I have a few that I can use, so I'm not afraid to use any of them.
Now, I know West Virginia is expecting you to step right in. I think it's not an understatement to say you're going to compete right away for the starting job, and they expect that out of you. Tell us about those expectations.
Yeah, so in past years, the last 2 years, they had their Friday night guy was a Division II transfer as well. So they have a very, very good track record of developing those guys and putting them in and, being the guy from day one. So they kind of see that in me as well. And, that was another reason I committed to West Virginia was, they have the ability to transform these guys and make them, just as good as that at that level as they were in Division II. So, I'm excited for that if the opportunity arises.
All right, now, Ian, our Go Long topic of the day is being prepared. What are you doing to prepare this summer for your next year for West Virginia and possible baseball future?
Yeah, so I'm currently playing summer ball in North Carolina in the Coastal Plains. So, I'm trying to get my start in once a week. But past that, the last few weeks I was kind of busy, so I couldn't stay in a routine. So now I'm trying to get into a routine of, lifting and throwing and taking care of my body, and just making the relationships down here that'll last a lifetime. So for me, it's just, trying to get into a routine, and whatever the next step is, I'm going to make sure I'm ready for it and that there's no surprises coming up.
Ian, you talk about moving on from Division II to Division III. Now this, I go
Division I.
Division
here.
I, yes. I'm
Yes.
sorry. Now I played Division III back in the late '70s, but we matched up with Division II teams throughout the season, and also we even played University of Miami one season. And there's not a whole heck of a lot of difference. And I only say that because I think there's just so many young men that play baseball throughout the country. Maybe the pitchers throw a couple miles an hour harder, and maybe they have obviously better facilities perhaps for training, but there's a lot of good baseball players out there. I don't think you're going to find that transition very difficult.
Right. Yeah. I mean, here in the league, there's guys from junior colleges all the way up to Power 4 schools. So there's a lot of guys out there that can play, and I'm excited for it. I know I can compete at the highest level, so I'm not afraid.
All right, now Ian, give a little shout out to your past. Coming from York Suburban, how did that prepare you for the steps that you're taking now?
Yeah, I'm proud to be a Trojan. Unfortunately, my junior year, we had the COVID year, so I didn't get to play one of the 4 years. But coming back the senior year, that was probably the best team I was on leading up to then. We had a few college baseball players on there, and the entire team was connected. We were best friends growing up. And then Rich Peterson, our coach that year, he did a fantastic job coming in and leading us to districts and playing some playoff games. I can't remember what the history was before that, if we were in playoff games, but he did a fantastic job leading us, and we just came up short to make it further, but we got to play Redland, who was top team in the state. They had some really good players, so being able to compete against some of the better teams was awesome. And I'll never forget my past and where I came from.
Ian Korn, All-American, Division II Pitcher of the Year. That sounds pretty nice, Ian. I got to say that. Here's a question that's often on my mind, and I know other people talk about it. There's so daggone many pitching injuries today. Maybe give us your thoughts there of why, and what are you able to do to try to prevent injuries?
Right. So I can't speak too much because I wasn't able to prevent an injury myself. I actually had Tommy John 2 years ago. But now going through the recovery and whatnot, it's made me realize that taking care of the little things, not just making sure your mechanics are good, but your nutrition, your sleep, your recovery, making sure all the little details are there. You're focusing on it, taking care of your strength and the muscles that you've never really strengthened before. And I think a big reason for all the injuries is, obviously people are throwing a lot harder. They're throwing a lot more often. So unfortunately, you see a ton of injuries with the elbows and the shoulders now. But I think if people take care of themselves from an earlier age, for me, I didn't start taking care of my body until after the surgery. And for people out there that kind of see my recovery and where it led to this past year, if you just take care of the little details, it'll lead to some great things because it's stuff that you've never really focused on before, and it completely changed my career.
Alrighty, well, Ian Korn just finished his season at Seton Hill University, pitching for the Griffins, 11-2 record, 1.81 ERA, first team All-American, Division II Pitcher of the Year, and as Becky B mentioned, a PSAC Top 10 recognition, which means you excelled on the field but also in the classroom. Today on Go Long, we celebrate Ian Korn, York Suburban graduate, moving on to West Virginia to play Division I. Ian, you're a great young man. You're a great example for all of our athletes here in the central Pennsylvania area, not only for what you've done, but what your potential is and how you handle yourself and what you do. Thank you so much for being with us. We look forward to following you throughout this next season at West Virginia.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
All righty. Thanks, Ian. Good luck, buddy.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, Ian Korn. How about that for a nice young man,
yeah,
right?
that's for sure. Gee, and
first
best of
team
luck to him.
All-American, right?
Yeah.
That's impressive. Becky B., some other honors. Biglerville's Levi Haynes. What a season he had at Penn State. Tell us what's up next for him.
All right. He earned the right to represent the United States on the Senior Worldwide Wrestling team. So he's going to be competing internationally now, going to Croatia from September 13th to 21st for the World Championships.
Wow. Well done, Levi. All right. Hey, we still have more scoreboard stuff to do, but we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We have Tim Law, Tennis for Kids. Tell us a little bit about that, Beck.
Okay. Yes. Tim Law is the coordinator of Tennis for Kids. It's a free tennis program. Free. for kids all throughout York County and Adams County, and he'll tell us all about
All right, it's free with an F. Thank you, Becky B. We'll be right back after this message from our sponsor, Red Barn Home Decor.
Daryl Henry here. Attention all home sellers. Are you ready to win in the real estate game? At Red Barn Home Decors, we know that staging your home is like crafting the perfect game plan. It leads to quicker sales and higher offers.
And this is Kelsey McCullough, your home staging design professional. I'm ready to customize a winning strategy for your home. Whether it's a vacant property needing a full transformation or an occupied stage for that finishing touch, Red Barn Home Decors has the playbook for success. Staged homes sell faster and for more money. Now that's a winning strategy.
So Kelsey, what is your home staging strategy?
Every home is custom. We begin by coming to your home and meeting you. Then we customize a strategy to make it market ready. We head back to the warehouse and pull furniture, art, and decor to prepare for staging day.
So don't fumble your sale. Invest in home staging and see why staging makes dollars and cents. Check out our portfolio at redbarnhomedecors.com or call or text Kelsey at 717-818-1207. The Atlantic League champion York Revolution are gearing up for another run at the title, and we want you to be part of the action. Lock up your seats with our popular and flexible 10-game plan. It comes with all kinds of season membership perks. Huge savings compared to single-game price, early admission, discount parking, exchange flexibility, and oh yeah, the best baseball around. Get your 10-game plan today at 717-801-HITS or visit YorkRevolution.com.
Love baseball? Love perks? Then it's time to hit a home run with the York Revolution Silver Sluggers presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine. For fans 55 and better, this exclusive membership gives you big savings on Tuesday home games all season long. 10 Tuesday home game tickets, discounts on concessions, and exclusive Silver Sluggers seat cushions, all for just $67.50. Don't miss out. Secure your Silver Sluggers membership today, and we'll see you at the ballpark. Sign up for the season at YorkRevolution.com.
All right, welcome back to Go Long. I'm Wayne McCullough. With me is Becky B. Goodness, Becky B., tell us about this next guest.
All right, we have Tim Law with us. Tim is the coordinator of Tennis for Kids here in York County. It's a program founded in 1990, still continuing today, and it's free for York County youth. Tim, tell us a little bit more about it, please.
Well, thank you so much for having me on, both of you. This was started in 1990 by Hank Mergis. He was the former York Dispatch editor, and we have anywhere from 1,200 to 1,600 kids at about 18 sites. It's a free program. We kind of survive on wonderful donations by whether it's individuals, parents, or businesses that try to help us along every year, and our staff gets paid as well between our site directors and our instructors. So it's going pretty well, and it's just wonderful how the community has supported it.
Tim, can you estimate how many young people are participating in the program?
Well, as I said, we have a range of about anywhere from about 1,200 to 1,600, on any given year. Now, this year has been crazy. I don't know if you guys have noticed the monsoon season that we hit us.
Oh, yes.
And then this week is going to be a cauldron. So our top priority is to, make sure we're doing the well-being and safety of the kids that we have there and everything. So it's been a little bit of a challenging start, due to the weather, but such is the way it is. Well,
our grandchildren have participated for at least the last 5 years, probably longer than that, and just incredible program. They've been attending the one here at Susquehannock, but there are sites all throughout the county. Last year, Susquehannock did not have a program, so they went to Dallastown. It was just as impressive as the Susquehannock, and I have not talked to any of my friends across the country who have one negative thing to say about Tennis for Kids. Just an incredible program. If your child is interested in tennis or is just wants to get started in tennis, it's a program that they are really keyed into all levels of children playing tennis, from the very, very beginner to the more advanced player. They provide opportunities for improvement. I have just been totally impressed by the staff, too.
Well, that's wonderful to hear. And Marianne Michaels, I mean, she's a rock star down there in Susquehannock, and they were doing some school construction last year, is why we couldn't have it. But it was great that your grandkids could go up to Dallastown, because we have had a couple really excellent site directors there as well. So that's wonderful feedback to hear.
Well, Tim, this program's also been recognized nationally by the United States Tennis Association. Can you tell us a little bit about that recognition?
You know, that's always, really, really neat to hear when they, recognize us and everything. And, again, we are unique from the standpoint that, these are free tennis lessons. And one of our other guys besides Haig Mergis actively involved is John Davis, and he believes it's the largest nonprofit sporting event in the state of PA, and very possibly beyond that. So we're really proud of it, and we have over 100 people that actually staff it, or site directors, that kind of thing. So it's a good way for these younger people to not only give instructions, but then I let them know too that this is going to look good on your resume down the road.
Yeah. Now, Tim, tell our listeners how they can get their children or grandchildren involved in Tennis for Kids.
Well, at this point, we've got 2 weeks down, 3 weeks to go. This week looks a little crazy, but we'll see what happens. But if they go to www.tennisforkidsyork.com, tennisforkidsyork.com, they'll see all the information, site locations that they need.
And Tim, what if they don't have tennis equipment? Are they still able to participate?
Yeah, they can participate. We have a few extra, rackets at most of the sites, although we do encourage people to, bring a racket. I mean, one of the tips that we give to various people is if you go into some of these thrift shops, they've got rackets there for, $3 or $4. I mean, it's, really, really good deal, and a lot of them are the smaller size for the younger kids, too.
Well, I also encourage, again, everyone to go to their the Tennis for Kids website. Opportunity to donate as well to this wonderful nonprofit program that offers so much for over 1,000 children here in our York area. So, Tim, thank you. Tim, I know you're also an author. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, last August I had a book out. It's Mental Toughness for Teen Athletes Post-COVID-19. As somebody who does a lot of substitute teaching up at Northeastern, it really pained me to see, some of these younger people that had kind of gone into the forced lockdowns and really couldn't do much of anything. So my goal with the books that I'm doing is to help encourage individual self-motivation to, get up and move and that kind of thing. And so that was the first one, the Mental Toughness for Teen Athletes. And in this past April, I had another one come out, Young Mentally Tough Entrepreneurs Who Are Impacting the World, and it shows the whys and how-tos to start their own business. And in early July, I should have another one coming out, Young Mentally Tough and Resilient Entrepreneurs and Overcoming the Inertia of the Forced COVID-19 Lockdowns. That's what I'm really trying to focus on, is to encourage and show people that, especially younger people, that, they can get a lot more done in their life, and that they shouldn't be, held back from the negative habits that came up through those two years plus with COVID, that's for sure.
Today on Go Long, we celebrate Tim Law, the Tennis for Kids program. Also, Tim, for all he has done, including continues to do, and sharing with others. So, Tim, thank you so much. Our Go Long topic was being prepared, and being prepared by doing good things and for other people, being holy, being godly. And Tim, you exemplify that, and we celebrate everything about you today. I know you're off to church. We're going to let you go, but thank you so much for being with us today.
I appreciate both of you, and thanks again, and look forward to speaking with you again at some point soon.
All righty. Thank you, Tim. Take care, bud.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, bye-bye.
Alrighty, what a great program, and everything Tim Law has done to over 1,000 young people participating in that program. Isn't that great?
That is phenomenal.
Alrighty, Becky
yes.
B, can you tell us this New Balance outdoor track and field program going on, and we have some local people participating?
Yes, the New Balance National Outdoor Track and Field Competition is actually currently being held. It's been Thursday through today at Penn University in Philadelphia at Franklin Field. This event features the best middle school, freshman, and high school track and field athletes from all across the country and even some foreign countries. Yesterday, York County had 2 representatives competing, Jalen Cook from Dallastown in the high jump and New Oxford's Braden Billman in the triple jump. Jalen Cook jumped 6 foot 7 inches to take 14th place in the high jump. The event was won by Vance Harris III from Washington, D.C. He leapt 6 feet 9.5 inches. Now, New Oxford's Braden Billman finished 20th in the triple jump with a hop, skip, and jump of 46 feet 7.25 inches. Aiden Bryant won that event with 51 feet 2.25 inches. Now, Braden is actually competing right now as we speak in the long jump. So congratulations to Braden for qualifying for that event, and good luck. Take it home, Braden.
Alrighty, well done. Hey, the York Revolution, they were held in check offensively yesterday and gave up 2 big innings to the Staten Island Ferry Hawks as they lose 10-0 last night at Staten Island University Hospital Northwell Health Community Park. Now, I put that down there because I'm going to do a little research before next week to see if that is the longest name of any named stadium in the country. The Staten Island University Hospital Northwell Health Community Park. Got to be, right? Gotta be.
I would think it might be, yeah.
This is just the 12th time in York Revolution franchise history that the Revs were shut out while losing by double digits, and the first time since July 20th, 2022, as they lost 10-0 to Gastonia.
Okay, and despite the loss, York, who is now 13-17, is 33-17 is 7 games ahead for first place in the North Division. There's only 13 games left to play in the first half, so their magic number shrinks every time they play.
All right, well, good job. Up next, the Revs are going to go for a series win today. 1:30 lefty Danny Dens with a 3.79 ERA is going to match up with Staten Island. Hey, you can catch this action live today on Sports Radio 98.9 FM, 1350 WOYK, on 989WOYK.com, the new WOYK app, and Flow Baseball TV. Coverage begins at 1:10. Guess who has the call?
I bet it's Daryl Henry.
I'm telling you, friends, on this hot Sunday afternoon, it'd be a joy to sit out by the pool or sit inside in the air conditioning and catch the Revs action, because nobody will give a game call better than Daryl Henry beginning today at 1:10. Hey, the Revs are going to then go to Lancaster to take on the Stormers on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday before they return home to take on Staten Island on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So, quick look at the standings. The Revs are 33-17, as Becky B told you, followed by the Long Island Ducks at 26-24. Then the Stormers, the Ferry Hawks, and the Boxcars wrap up the Northern Division of the Atlantic League. I just wanted to focus quickly, on one of these, as the Revs are playing so well. They have a couple hitters that are batting in the 300s. Frankie Tostado is hitting 343. What a great season he has. He was a number, I think he was 18 or 19 draft pick by the San Francisco Giants in 2017. He's had a great career, but he's playing for the Revs, hitting 343. All right, so catch the Revs today. Daryl Henry will have the call here on WOYK. Okay, my friends, as every Sunday, Becky B will close in prayer. But before we do that, you may text your prayer requests to us during the show or during the week at 717-350-8591, and Becky B will close in prayer and include your prayer requests in those. Again, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it very, very much. It's time that we spend together. It means so much to us. Becky B?
All right, dear Heavenly Father, we just praise you and we thank you for the time that you've given us today, and we just thank you for all the many, many blessings that you give to us and that you continue to give to us, and your grace and your mercy. We just ask, Lord, as we go throughout our lives, that we focus more on giving to others and helping others who are less fortunate than us, because we know, Heavenly Father, that's what you have asked us to do. And we just thank you, Lord, that you have given us the ability to have eternal life just by believing in you and being one of your followers, Lord. We just ask your special blessings on Heather as she continues to go through radiation. Please give her strength and give her energy. We just ask that you be with Jan as he still continues to wait for his transplant, and Judy as she is recovering from her transplants and continues to face some health issues. Please continue to be with Bonnie as she goes through her chemotherapy and give her strength as well, and give her body the ability to fight. We just thank you, Lord, that you will continue to be with others. Ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
All right, thank you to Kelsey Jean and Connolly for Red Barn Home Decors, where staging makes dollars and cents. Now the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with you all. This is Wayne McCullough and Becky B saying, go long.